Welcome to the 513 podcast. I am your host, Nick Nickel, also known as Bengals Storm, and I am here with a very special guest. 3 years running now on the show. Raw Tag Team Champ, Smackdown Tag Team Champ, NXT Tag Team Champ, probably a fourth thing Tag Team Champ. One of the best in the business, Angelo Dawkins. How you doing today, man?
Doing all right about yourself.
Doing great, man. NFL Combine this week, Elimination Chamber this week. Busy
Mm-hmm.
week for Bengal fans, busy week for wrestling fans. I know it's probably a busy week for you as well as someone who has to actually compete in these matches while also trying to keep up with what's going on with this busy, hectic offseason going on in Cincinnati.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. But lucky for me, it's just showing up and beating people up and bouncing.
Yeah, man, it's great to see what you do on SmackDown, but today the main focus is the Bengals, in which the first question I have for you regarding it is the Bengals have probably the most things to look at this offseason with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson, Mike Gesicki. What are your thoughts on nearly all those guys? Are there any people you think maybe the Bengals should let go and explore other options?
Well, those names that you just named, yeah, resign them all. Okay, that's first and foremost. Okay, resign all of them, every last one of them. You do not let them leave Paycor. You do not let them leave Cincinnati. Hell, you don't even let them field phone calls from another team. All right. Yeah, resign those guys. All those guys you just named need to be Bengals next year and the year after and the year after and the year after.
Yeah, man. For me, I would love having Chase and T and Trey and just say all those guys back. Obviously, Duke Tobin just had his press conference interview where he felt the same, where he mainly just went to the podium, said, I agree with y'all, and then left. But another Bengal person that has a lot of discourse right now is Jermaine Pratt. What do you think should happen with him since he just requested a trade last week?
uh obviously whoever's the best whatever the best offer is, I guess, that you get for him. He requested a trade. That's probably because Lou Amaruno got fired, and now he's the DC at Indy, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously that like might have played a part in it, but also I think like it was just like it was almost at that time, you know. I mean, he was granted he was one of the leading tacklers in the league. I think he just wants to change the scenery, quite honestly.
Yeah, man, I feel like we're going to see a lot of people have a change of scenery. It sounds like BJ Hill, Mike Hilton, Jermaine Pratt, and guys like, and potential cut candidates, and like Sam Hubbard, Alex Kappa, a lot
Mhm.
of people that could potentially leave, and you have a lot of money, a lot of vets. The Bengals need a lot of trench work. Who do you think we should get? Like any specific names you want to become future guards or D tackles?
You know what? If you go future guards, I'll definitely say Donovan Jackson, who's proved that he's a Swiss Army knife. If you didn't see him at Ohio State, he started at guard, moved to left tackle due to some injuries. So, and he's proven to be a Swiss Army knife there. So, obviously, just in case for injury purposes or whatever, or emergencies, he can stick out left tackle too if Orlando Brown not feeling it. Him and Cody Ford would be great because Cody Ford, I felt like, had a pretty decent year for the positions that he had to play in last year. Uh, if we could trade Jermaine Pratt for Quentin Nelson, that would be great. um, that would be awesome. But then like obviously in the draft, you got a bunch of D tackles that are this draft is stacked with D tackles. And like I feel like they could pick anybody in the trenches a D tackle if they wanted to, just because it's just so stacked. And then we also got what, Chris Jenkins and McKinley Jackson.
Yeah.
Those like those dudes were coming on towards the end of the season anyway. So like I like those guys. But yeah, I mean, definitely I wouldn't mind getting like that dude from Dallas as well. He like even though their defense wasn't good, he was like one of the bright spots. Their D tackle, their three tech. Can't really say his last name. I think he's like number 97 if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Osa.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't mind that. They definitely need like more pass rush, and then obviously like man, hopefully Miles Murphy comes along too, but I think like they definitely need more pass rush, especially if we're going to re-sign Trey Hendrickson. We need somebody other than Trey Hendrickson to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, man, I feel like most Bengals fans would agree with you that, like, free agency, people are saying we need two offensive guards, we need to sign a D end, and we need to sign a D tackle. And even after that, the most drafted player in mock drafts has been a D tackle in Walter Nolan. So that's the consist. Like, we're tired of being pushed around in the trenches on both sides of
Mm-hmm.
the ball, whether it's Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Matabuke, having to play those guys 2 times a year each. We're just tired of that crap. We want to sack Lamar. We want to sack Watson if they for some reason keep playing the dude. But
Yeah, keep
yeah,
playing Watson, please, Cleveland. Like, you
but
know,
the next question I have: is there any hot takes you have for the offseason that maybe like, hey, maybe we should get a wide receiver, maybe we should get a corner, like something you've seen Bengals fans haven't talked about much?
I definitely think we need a corner. Another corner will help. Like I said, we got Dax Hill and DJ Turner who's coming on as of late, but they're still coming off injuries. I like Cam Taylor Britt a lot. I don't know about him being the number one corner. Uh but I think we do need an alpha dog in the secondary just to help out a little bit more, just to steady the secondary and like not put them in such pressure situations. Because I felt like obviously, to be fair, it was because of no pass rush, but like at the same time, like dudes just kept getting open, even when they were just going short passes and all that stuff. They were just getting open on short routes and stuff like that. A lot of missed tackles and all that stuff. But I think I would not mind them getting a corner in free agency.
Yeah, I do think that's something to really be concerned about. There's a lack of veteran leadership as of right now. We have 5 cornerbacks on the roster that were on the 53 last year, and they're all on rookie deals right now. No one going into even their 4th year. So yeah, I think that's a very reasonable thing to be concerned about. And speaking of the secondary, what would you do about the safety position? Obviously, Jordan Battle has been in and out as a starter. Some
Hmm.
people think Geno Stone should be cut, but others think he should be given another chance. What would you do with that position?
I definitely run that back. Um, just to I definitely run that duo back. Obviously, new D coordinator, so you never know. Al Golden coming in. Geno Stone didn't have the best year. A lot of missed tackles on his part, but I also think let's not forget he did lead the league in picks the year before. But also, what was that predicated off of? Pass rush. I think if there's a pass rush, then he's gonna have a lot more to say about this season than what he did last year. I mean, it's super like being in the secondary is probably one of the hardest positions in football because you got to cover for so long, and like if you're not getting any pass rush, that makes it even worse. So like I think you run it back, and then Jordan Battle, obviously, I think he's gonna be good. I think him not playing much to start the year off, that was interesting because of how good of a rookie season that he had. And I'm gonna guess there were some things that needed to be fixed. Maybe I don't know, but I think for one, Jordan Battle will be like I think he'll play very good under Al Golden, and who knows, Al Golden might draft this boy from Notre Dame.
What?
Number six. Yeah, watch. So hey, we never know.
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously, the only people that know what they're going to do is the people within the organization. But yeah, next question I have is kind of something that I just got on my mind. Uh, so there's that whole thing with James Trafford and the soccer team that made a deal with J.J. Watt.
Yup, I
As
know
of
all
right
about
now,
that.
it's 12 more clean sheets in which J.J. Watt will sign with the Bengals. So I'm wondering what would be the equivalent of you having something like that and making a deal.
What would be the equivalent of that? Oh man, I'm making a deal like that. Ugh, that's a tough one. Obviously, definitely gonna need FC Cincinnati to give me a nice clean sheet for the year. Give me an MLS title, you know. Give me an MLS title. Real Madrid wins another Champions League, obviously. Uh the Reds win a playoff series.
Not even the World Series. It's just one playoffs.
I want to hey, you know what? I was just hoping that the Bengals just won one playoff game, and it turned into almost winning the Super Bowl. So we don't necessarily like if they win that playoff series and they get red hot at the right time. Hey, it's gonna be a dangerous ball club right there. Obviously, Terry Francona coming in and being the manager. Like you never know. Like they win that one playoff series, that builds momentum into just beating teams that they probably shouldn't have beaten. But they ended up the bats started getting hot at the right time. The pitching started humming at the same time as well. And if they go all the way, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? We'll definitely be talking.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's probably like a great time to be a Cincinnati sports fan right now. FC probably one of the favorites to win it all. I'd say the Reds are a
Hmm.
playoff favorite, and the Bengals well, they're a Super Bowl favorite. So obviously, great time to be a fan. But going down to Los Angeles for you, I know you're a Lakers fan. Tonight it's Mavs Lakers. The game will happen before this will be uploaded, but I want to hear what your reactions were when Luka got traded unexpectedly.
Man, yeah, okay. All right. So one of my boys is a Mavericks fan.
Oh no.
And so when I heard about it, I heard about it at Royal Rumble. And I was like, oh, this is definitely April Fool's. This ain't real. Then all of a sudden, what made it real was I saw it on ESPN. Like that night, I was like, "Oh my god, that was real." And then obviously I started, you know what I'm saying, talking smack, and that was right after I hit everybody with crutches that day. So I was already on 10 that day. The Luka trade made it even worse. And man, like, because I thought it was a joke. I thought it was April Fool's. I thought like whatever joke could be played, I thought that was what was going through my mind. I'm like, they was like, hey, yo, dogs, Luka got traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and one first rounder. One. One. Rudy Gobert got traded for five first rounders. Mikal Bridges got traded for like five first rounders. Luka Doncic is one of the best players in the league. He is 25 years old. I want to know what they were smoking when they made this trade. I'm still under the impression Rob Pelinka, like, you know what I'm saying, put a little voodoo and a drink, and like I don't know, somebody did something because like, bruh, like it was so unreal. And then when I found out it was real, I was like, oh, the Lakers when LeBron, yeah, we winning the title. I mean, you saw what they did against the Nuggets.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and let's get real, even though this might be happening, like obviously the game is gonna happen before this comes out. I'm gonna just go ahead and just do it a solid. Luka Luka is definitely probably going to exact revenge on the Dallas Mavericks tonight. And it's gonna be generational. I'm gonna have a front row seat. Well, I had a front row seat to it because I already know that this happened already. But Luca going for like 70.
Damn. All right. Well, that's a lot to take in with your thoughts on Luca, but I just got a few questions on some WWE stuff. The first one I have is a few months ago we saw a partnership announced between TNA Wrestling and NXT, in which we've
Mhm.
seen wrestlers come in from NXT to TNA and vice versa. Are
Yep.
there any people from TNA that you and Montez would love to have a future match with?
Well, I guess we got to go with the Hardy Boys. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Um, that is definitely one. Two, man, Rascals. I would say because both of them are Ohio boys, so like I know
Ooh.
them from Ohio. So, um, shoot, I think Zach is and he's an Ohio State fan and he's a Bengals fan. So like I'm cool with them. But those guys, the system, even though Moose claims to be a Russell Westbrook fan, but he named his group after James Harden, which is insane. But hey, you know what? I'll go those guys, but nah, it's pretty dope though, because obviously it's a great partnership because there's guys that's been wrestling in TNA for quite some time, and NXT is still like fairly new like up and comers and stuff like that. So they get to like wrestle a lot of guys with a lot of experience, and that's dope in its own right. And it's just basically one big like learning experience for everybody, and like obviously the partnership is going to be great. Everybody's going to be having some crazy matches. And then obviously you got some legends that were here that are in TNA now, and they can like, you know what I'm saying, share some of their wisdoms that they've experienced here with some of the guys from NXT and vice versa and stuff like that. And this, I think it's dope.
Yeah, man. I mean, me personally, I love the partnership. I think we're going to see a lot of ratings boost, not even just for NXT, but TNA and maybe even like main roster shows if we see people from TNA like the Hardy Boys show up, maybe have a feud with you guys or someone on Raw. But it's going to be great for business for everyone. But my last question I have for you is something that a lot of wrestling fans love is the international crowds, whether it was Backlash France last year, Clash at the
Mhm.
Castle. People love the crowds and the atmosphere. Someone, if you had to have a match against any team at any location, what would it be?
Uh, you know, I don't even care who the team is. I want to be in Barcelona just so I could be there in a Real Madrid jersey and let them know who run things. I want a match in Barcelona. That is the one place, and we're just so happen to going to be there in a couple weeks. Barcelona, Real Madrid Suns. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in Barcelona's feeling high and mighty because they won a couple games this year in El Clasico. But it's okay because we know who the granddaddy of them all are. We know who's the top dog, all right, in Champions League, in La Liga. That is Real Madrid, okay? Y nada más. Hello, Madrid. and I'm going there with a flag and everything. I'm going there with the whole man, bruh. I don't even care. Like I don't care who we fighting, because we gonna beat the crap out of them, just like Real Madrid gonna beat the crap out of Barcelona the next time they see them.
So what I'm hearing is like just like your plan for the next few weeks is just to beg Nick Aldis for a match at that specific show.
Oh yeah, and they
All
gonna
right.
hate me because I'm hitting every celebration in the book that Real Madrid do. Kylian Mbappe, I'm gonna hit him with the Arda Grula celebration. I'm gonna hit him with the Vinicius Junior celebration, the Rodrigo, the belly go.
All right, I love the confidence you're showing, but that's all we have for you today. Thank you all for listening to the 513 podcast. Make sure to subscribe and to follow our socials, and make sure to follow Angelo on all his socials and watch as he hopefully makes a tag title run on SmackDown in the coming weeks going to WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.